Hello students, welcome to today's Headlines That Matter, and today we shall be discussing 8 important articles from The Hindu briefly. So these are the 8 important articles for you. First article is related to the review discussions which are happening for 2018 Sabrimala judgment. Second important article is related to National Human Rights Commission. So recently this commission was criticized by the judges in Allahabad High Court because the reason was this commission is not focusing on the main issues related to human right violations, but instead it is focusing on the issues which are outside its mandate. Third article is related to diving exercise between India and Sri Lanka. So India Sri Lanka diving exercise 2026. So here it's very important to know that where this exercise took place and what were the main objectives. Next article is related to Nicobar project. So recently this project was criticized by leader of opposition in India. So we shall be discussing the reasons, whether these reasons were valid or not, and why this project was criticized. Next article is related to road safety. So the Ministry of Road and Transport Ministers is trying to introduce some of the new technologies in order to ensure the road safety of road passengers as well as pedestrians. But there are some challenges which India could face. So this is important for especially for mains. Next article is related to digital vigilantism. So here you must have a basic idea of digital vigilantism, and we will discuss why especially people in India are forced to use this route of social media instead of using the official route for filing complaints. Next article is related to Mekong River. So according to recent reports, various tributaries of Mekong River are being poisoned because of the mining of rare earth minerals in the Mekong River basin. So these were the main highlights for today. Now let's quickly discuss very basic things about these articles. The first important article is Supreme Court says courts can not reform matters of faith. So basically the article is saying that solely Supreme Court or solely court is not responsible for reforming various religious reforms in India, but religion itself has to transform itself based on the present needs of the society. So here, mainly the discussion was happening based on 2018 Sabrimala issue. So what happened in 2018? Women of menstruating age, that is from 10 to 15 years, all these women were allowed to enter the temple. And what were the reasons quoted? The main reason was constitutional values or the constitutionalism must be above everything in India. Above everything, that means it must also be above Article 25, that is right to freedom of religion. So Article 25 says that any person has the right to conscience, or any person has to right to practice a particular religion, but it is subjected to various conditions. For example, morality, or for example, health or public order. So based on this morality, Supreme Court has said that constitutionalism or constitutional values comes above everything. So what are some of the important constitutional values? These are Article 14, that is right to equality, as well as Article 21. Okay, so and article also discusses an important doctrine, that is essential religious practices. So I think these were the important things for this article. Next important article is related to National Human Rights Commission. So recently this commission was criticized by Allahabad High Court for overlooking the serious human right issues. So what happened? That recently Human Rights Commission, the members in Human Rights Commission have issued the direction for the investigation in the financial irregularities in madrasas of UP. Now, these madrasas have challenged this investigation. Why they challenged? First thing was that this does not come under the mandate of Human Rights Commission, because this matter is related to financial irregularity and your main purpose is to focus on the human right violation. Second thing is, it is violating the rule of 1 year limitation. That means all the cases which Human Rights Commission can take, all these cases must happen within 1 year, because if the period exceeds 1 year, National Human Rights Commission cannot take that issue. So these were the two things based on what it was challenged. So based on this, first of all, you must have a basic idea about whether this commission is statutory or constitutional. If it is statutory, under which act it comes, what is the composition of members, what will be the tenure of members, and basically the main objective of this article was the role and functioning of National Human Rights Commission. So you must have a basic idea that what are roles and functions of National Human Rights Commission. So here one of the important function is it one of the important role is it can investigate matters only within 1 year of occurrence, and that was also discussed in the article. Next article is related to diving exercise between India and Sri Lanka. So first important thing is the place itself where this particular exercise took place, and then what was the objective of its exercise. So its main objective was to increase the maritime cooperation between India and Sri Lanka, and it focused mainly on four factors. So first was deep sea diving, second was mixed gas diving, third was underwater rescue, and fourth was salvage operations. So here, under what happens under mixed gas operations, see, as you dive deep into the sea, the amount of dissolved oxygen reduces. That's why instead of using just oxygen, you use mixed gases for the respiration purposes. And about the salvage operation, so these are the operations you do to repair the damaged vehicle underwater. Now, next important thing which was discussed is about the Arogya Maitri initiative. So it was the initiative to provide the medical aid under the disaster situation, to provide the humanitarian relief. And under Arogya Setu, you have Bhishma cubes. Bhishma cubes are the portable medical kit which you can easily provide in the emergency situations. So these were the main basic things which were discussed in the article. Next article is related to Nicobar project. So this project basically was criticized for two things. First of all, this project was environmentally destructive, and second thing, it was harmful for tribal heritage. So why it was environmentally destructive? Because it will cut the area of around 160 kilometers square, and that area is composed of rainforest, and rainforests are the important biodiversity hotspots, as well as they are important carbon sinks. And if we talk about the tribal heritage, so the overall social life or the complete life of tribals in that region in Great Nicobar revolves around the forest only. So if you take the forest or land from them, their entire life is finished, right? So here basically the article is discussing three things. First, it is discussing the infrastructure development. Second, it is discussing environment, and third is the tribal rights. So you are compromising the environmental protection as well as tribal rights at the you are compromising all these things just for the infrastructural development. And why you are developing infrastructure? So that you can ensure you can ensure a good experience or good life for the people in India as well as for the tourists. But please focus on this thing also, that all these tribal population are also the citizens of India. So why you are compromising the life of tribal population just for the interest or just for the promotion of the economically wealthier sections in India? So this is the main thing which is discussed in the article. Now, if we are discussing about the Great Nicobar project, then for you it is very important to know about the location, about the mapping. So here, Andaman and Nicobar are separated by 10-degree channel. And if we talk about the Nicobar Island, so it has three main islands. First is Car Nicobar, second is Little Nicobar, and third is Great Nicobar. Now, since we are talking about Great Nicobar, so here the nearest point, which is the southernmost point of India, it is the Indira Point. Okay, and here in this region, this is the region of Great Nicobar. So here we will be having airport, container, as well as transshipment terminal. Uh, Actually, this channel is not particular dedicated for from AP. Are you asking that is it for APPSC or Group 1 services? Are you asking this? Okay, so yes, so here we discussed about the mapping, and here an important choking point. So yes, here near the Great Nicobar, we have a great important choking point, that is the Strait of Malacca. So here location is very important for you, and some of the prelims related points from for Andaman and Nicobar Islands, like the Indra Point, like the national parks which are located in Great Nicobar, like the Great Nicobar Biosphere Reserves, like the tribes which are living in that region, whether there are any PVTGs or not, all these things. So this was a PYQ of 2017. So it was asked that which is geographically closest to Great Nicobar. So just now we discussed about the locations. And next, this article was related to road accidents in India. So basically, the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways is planning to introduce a new technology, that is vehicle to vehicle communication technology. So basically, this is V2V technology, that one vehicle will communicate with another vehicle so that no collision can happen. So this is V2V technology, and it is a small technology of the broad technology, that is V2X or V2E technology, that is vehicle to everything technology. So under this technology, everything, a vehicle will communicate with each and everything, so in order to ensure the safety of pedestrians as well as safety of passengers. But basically the article is discussing that yes, this is very good technology, but still India is lacking on various fronts, like India is lacking on infrastructure. These type of infrastructures we are needing. India is lacking from the side of the training of drivers. India is lacking on in the digital connectivity, internet connectivity, all these things. So here, these are the main things which are discussed. Next article is related to digital vigilantism. So here, basically, a small case is discussed. What happened recently? Recently, a man misbehaved with a woman in a domestic flight, and instead of taking the official route for filing the complaint, instead of doing that, this particular woman shared her experience on the social media. Now, since it was shared on the social media, it went viral, and it was used to defame that particular man. It was used to defame that accused. So now this man has filed a defamation suit, that even if you don't have any particular proof that I did that thing, how can you use that thing as a tool on social media? So this article is discussing, see, this particular thing we call as digital vigilantism, where the social media is used as a tool for naming, shaming, or defaming a particular person. Article is saying main point is not digital vigilantism. Main point is why the people in India are forced to use digital vigilantism, and why they are forced, because our grievance redressal mechanisms are very weak. They are not very strong. That's why people have to take the other route. So these were the main things which are discussed in the article. Next article was about the rare earth mining poisoning. So basically the article is discussing, since each and every country is requiring rare earth minerals, so since this kind of mining is also happening in the Mekong River basin, and because of that tributaries are being poisoned, because when you mine these rare earth minerals, so various harmful chemicals, various metals like cadmium, lithium, mercury, all these metals dissolve with the fresh water resources. So in a way, they create harmful impact on the marine life also, as well as human life also. So if we are discussing about the Mekong River, then you must have a basic idea about the countries, from which countries the Mekong River pass, what is the origin of Mekong River, and where the Mekong River drain. So these are the some of the important things which you must focus upon. Okay, so I think that's all for the news in